Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online. Today is our Online Awakening panel that is specifically an Anything and Everything training panel. Today is a panel where we give support to people that are new to MeWe events, new to practicing, new to a modality, new to being on stage, new to sharing online, new to sharing in public, all kinds of ways that we can be new in our practice. So it's an opportunity to give people some support as they step up on a panel and answer questions from the audience. It's free to be here to listen and learn. It's a small price to ask a question of the panel, and it is half price compared to what it usually is. It's usually a great deal to get answers from several practitioners already, and it's an even better deal today. It's 10 to 14 sliding scale, or $6 for BIPOC folks as a step of making reparations. So this is an opportunity that you can get answers to your questions and also support practitioners as they're getting practice sharing their work, coming to trust their insight and their intuition better. It's also a great opportunity to practice opening to your intuition. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I recommend that you have something to write with and write on. It's great to take notes and to scribble and draw while we're going through this process. It's an opportunity, if you want it, to see if the information that comes through you is similar to what the practitioners share as they answer questions from people. It's a great way to get validation that you're tapping into the same kinds of things. And of course, you might have something come through you that's valid that we happen to not share. Just great to have that confirmation as a step of helping you trust yourself more and more. We're going to have the practitioners share about themselves so you know who they are and how they do their work. And then I'll set the stage before we take questions from the audience. So you might want to think about what question you want to ask the audience as we go through. It's great if you ask a personal question similar to what you would ask sitting for a private session with one of us. It's a great opportunity for all of us to learn from the questions that you ask. And here's the information in the chat again about how to pay if you'd like to ask a question. And again, it could be on anything. All of our panels can be on anything or everything, but this time, no specific theme. It is really wide open. All right. Well, let's see. So I didn't check the order. Is everyone comfortable going in the order that we went in before? Does that work? And then so you've got like 2-ish minutes or so. Go ahead and tell us all about you, what you do. If you want, you can share about how you opened to doing your work, what stage you are in your journey, any of those things, your special, how we can contact you and all that stuff. All right, great. Jana is first.
Hello, my name is Jana. I'm an intuitive tarot and oracle card reader. Most of my sessions are spirit message readings, which are their messages from spirit you need to hear at this time. I'm doing a special this weekend. If you book this weekend, you can book out for whatever day works for you, but the special will be for today and tomorrow for $40 for each session. And that is, did you figure out how much percent off?
It is 45% off your normal price.
45% off if you book this weekend for spirit message readings. And you can reach me on my Facebook page, which is Jana Kaye's Lux Moon Readings.
Thanks so much, Jana. And Jana's been traveling all the way up to our fairs in Washington. Jana's in Oregon. And yeah, it's great to have you online.
Trying them all out.
Exactly. All right. Jackie is next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Delamar. I will be offering intuitive tarot readings and if I receive a message for you, a psychic message, I'll offer that. I'm a trained hypnotherapist. I do energetic healing. I have studied several different modalities. What started me in healing journey was actually I was in nursing school. And when I was in nursing school, they kept focusing on meds, basically. And I was like, this is not in alignment. And then it turned out there was a family emergency where I didn't finish nursing school, but then I actually started Evergreen here in Washington, and I studied mind-body medicine, and that led me into learning different modalities of energy healing, nutrition, EFT, just all kinds of somatic experiencing. So that's what led me on my healing journey. Actually, no, you know what? It probably started way back in the day when I was in the Christian church, but whatever, we won't go there today. But yeah, so I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to see what Spirit will do today. And if you would like to, my website is sacredjourneyguide.com. My services on there are 25% off. So just mention MeWe Fairs and I'd be honored to work with you in any way. All right, blessings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. We have panels on so many different themes, and the panel yesterday was on breaking free from religious trauma. So, yeah, lots of people started opening while they were, connected in formal religion. All right, we've got Lincoln up next.
Hi, I don't know where to start because I start so many times. When I was young, I started as a mountaineer, and then I got into physics and got a PhD in physics, and then I was a neurophysiologist for a while, and then got into psychedelics and ceremony and world travel, and then hypnotherapy, and from there to psychotherapy because it's nice to know more. And so I deal with people of all kinds, and I learn from my clients, and I don't do well with authorities, which is why I'm here. So one of the things I do is I say that you can't just worry about your past separate from your future and think about healing your problems without fulfilling your potential. So I deal with people in both degrees. And the one thing that I find is that whatever your story is, it's only a small part of your bigger story. So I listen. There's so many levels to people's stories that you can't make judgments. I mean, you can. And in fact, I'm paid to make stupid judgments. Stupid judgments that I tell you that other people wouldn't, and we just throw them away and go with it. So that's my story. I'm a sort of a psychotherapist and hypnotherapist and neurofeedback therapist and so forth. So my website is Mind Strength Balance, mindstrengthbalance.com. And I'm offering sessions for $90 an hour, which is my low rate for people who are here today. I think that'll wrap it up. Thanks.
Yeah, so your $90 an hour is about 40% off your higher rate. Great.
Correct.
And Jana just got kicked out. She's coming back in. And Christina is next.
Hi, my name is Christina. I own Crystal Quartz Metaphysical Shop. I'm actually located in Pittsburgh, PA, so I'm on the East Coast. But my journey is basically, I came into this realm awakened. You would dub me as what they would call the indigo kids, where they come with the chakras already aligned and open, specifically the third eye. But, as society beats you up and things like that, and you want to be normal, I shut a lot of that stuff off. But at the wonderful age of 33, they were like, nope, you're coming back on. Had full-blown awakening to the point that my energetics were just completely uploaded all at once and upgraded. I was actually put in the hospital for maybe 3 or 4 days for neurological situations going on, mainly migraines that they didn't know why I was having them, but it's because they instantly turned me on and said, you had time to play. Now you got to get back to your mission. So I am a multidimensional cosmic being. I claim myself and I have to accept it. That's who I am. That's what I am. I do multidimensional soul intuitive readings because I have access to cosmic knowledge that most people don't have access to because of my genetics, my blood rights. And on top of that, because I went through the awakening, I know what quote unquote cosmic beings are going through being embodied on 3D and now awakening at this time. So that's why I also provide cosmic clarity consultations. So if you're having questions about this awakening process, I can literally talk you through it firsthand because I've gone through it. So right now I am having a special on soul intuitive readings and the cosmic consults for 15% off. If you've been at any of the fairs, you have access to it. Any of practitioners, you have access to this discount code. My website is crystalquartz.com. You can find me on Facebook under Crystal Quartz and Instagram under the same name. I also have a blog where I document my downloads, my experiences, but that's actually under the Complacent Mind .blog, but you can find that also through my website. So I actually posted one today that's an interesting read. So if you have time, dive in there and let me know what you think.
Great, thanks so much. Everyone's information's in the chat. So these are the 4 practitioners that are going to be answering questions from the audience today, and they are getting supported by myself and Dr. D. Let's have you meet Dr. D.
Hey, hello, I am Dr. D, shamanic medicine woman. I do med physician from A to Z. We want to say from working with infertility issues. For couples, I've made a mistake of saying just women, but it's men and women I work with to reach their dream of having that beautiful being choosing them in this life, as well as different spiritual attachments. I use one of the tools from crystals to geometric shapes in Rife and binary beats together. So having a special today at 25% off on 3 sessions. That'll be $333. And then I'm on. And the last special is $9.99. And that is 25% off as well for 9 sessions with me. And we can do it either in person or we can do it by video. It's your choice. So for me, I've been born intuitive. I was named as a witch at a very early age. And I take that, that's okay. I don't mind being different and out the box. So for me, it's beautiful. I learned to take my gift and just raise to the next level, and also decided to cultivate my children in that. And they are walking beings, or, individual beings that have the gift as well. So that's what I do. I cultivate what you need and bring you the necessity of the things you desire. So I am Dr. D, metaphysician. Bye.
Great, happy to be supporting the panel with you. Oh yeah, and so if someone wants to ask a question of the panel, if it's just a basic question of how everything works, or a question wanting to know more about the background of someone, you could ask that now. Or if you do want to ask a question of the panel, we request that you pay first. I'll put the information in the chat again too. You can pay by PayPal or Venmo, or I can open up a breakout room and take a card, all kinds of things.
Dr. D, I have a question. Do you have any experience being in the pharmaceutical medicine? What led you into this?
I don't deal with pharmaceutical medicine. I deal with herbal medicine, from American herbal medicine to Ayurvedic to Chinese medicine to Japanese to Korean, other different medicines and medicine plants. I have those experiences for them. I am a trained herbologist, so I have a lot of different people called certificates that I do have. So that's why I said I only named a few, because I can't put them all in. We'd be going on here forever, because I'm a crystal therapist, I'm a color therapist. I can go on and on. And I'm a certified doula and a certified chef, raw from raw, the vegan, blah, blah, blah. So I have shamanic medicine. That's the best one. So, but I do work with people that are on pharmaceuticals, and I like to work with their doctors. So there's no, I don't like hits and stuff, because I am not a MD, I'm a PhD, and that's a difference. I'm a PhD. So, and med physician is alternative medicine. So I do not have that. I'm not a naturopath, and that's a different naturopath that you go to school for. So I need to explain that, even though I use these tools. Does that make sense?
That's great, yes. Just like Lincoln is a PhD. Yep. And I wanted to ask you one other thing about your background, since we're doing that. Could you say something about the type of shaman that you are? I didn't recognize the words.
Shamanic medicine woman is metaphysics.
It's
Basically, there's
Munekai. I don't know what is.
Oh, you're talking about that. Munekai is another energy work. That is what we call an earth keeper, a shamanic earth keeper, that we are the keeper of the earth. That is my job. I said that I was going to come in and be the earth keeper. So my job is to help people ascend if they need to ascend, help people get in place. So if they need to cross over, that's my job, to help them cross over into the other life. That came because I've been talking to people on the other side, or before they transition, since I was 9 years old. I could tell who was going to transition, and they would come and tell me. So that's why they named me a witch, because they said I cast a spell on the people that died. But that's their opinion. I don't believe that. But also, I'm gonna tell you something else. With death also comes life. And that's what they should have told me. Oh, you bring in death, a coup, which is another religion in Yoruba or Santeria, is called a coup. That means death walks with you. So death does walk with everybody. Life walks with everybody. But we get caught up on the negativity, and I'm not about that. It's a balance. Did I answer the question fully?
You did. That's great. That's great. And I wanted to share too that you're going to be joining more of our online events over the next month. So it's great to have you here, and I'm looking forward to having you on more of our events. Great to have you supporting the panel today. All right, and I just put some info about me in the chat. I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and matchmaker. So I read your eyes, like eyes are a window to the soul, and I answer questions about your soul, your path, your lessons, can answer questions about your career path and how you can line that up more with your soul purpose, about relationships, if you show me photos of other people that you're connected with or want to connect with. And I love to use this work for matchmaking to help you find people, be it for romance or for a job or for a partner at work or all kinds of different things, roommates, and I can help read anyone in your life for anything that you're interested in. And my body psychology work is about you getting more aware of your own body and the messages your body is giving you. There are ways you can utilize your body to shift and untangle when you are caught in knots. Yeah, and then also it's a great way to be aware of other people and supporting other clients and having a sense of what might be going on with them to help them feel fully and to not be stuck. And I love to use my work for matchmaking, as I shared. Well, that's me, and I'm excited to be running the panel here today with Dr. D. All right. Practitioners, sometimes, oh yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, sometimes when we hear each other share, we think of something else we want to share about our background. So go ahead, Dr. D, and then practitioners. Anyone else have something else they want to share? Go ahead, Dr. D.
I wanted to ask about your dating. How does that, don't you have an online dating today too? Session or no?
I do. I already had that today. So I had drop-in for dating and matchmaking, multi-event day. So yes, I could say a little bit about how this works. So gosh, we all read each other's eyes, just like when things are missing and then things are there. And so we don't realize then when we date, we are usually choosing people based on their eyes. We usually choose people that aren't so great. I've got tons more drop-ins. I've got them in the chat too. We usually choose people based on their eyes, and we don't realize that we're usually choosing the people that are hardest for us to be with. And we're usually choosing the same kinds of eyes over and over. So I help people realize what those patterns are, get more lined up and true of who they are, see where those lessons came from, help shift and loosen some of that stuff. That's all happening in there. But really, it's about getting true and authentic about who they are. And if they do online dating, sharing authentically on their profile, choosing photos or taking new photos that share authentically who they are. And then we screen through eyes of potential dates to choose the ones that are likely to be soulmates, more conscious and more soulmates in a similar path in their journey. And I give all kinds of tips and advice for how to connect with people and how to write to make it a deeper connection more quickly and to screen people more quickly. Talk about which sites are better beyond and all those things. So it's conscious online dating with eye readings. Oh yeah, that's what I do. And I have drop-in events so that if you want to get a sampling of all that, you can come. The first one's by donation, and then after that it's $20. And I do a 3-month package so you can get support on the journey. So you can work with me privately or work with me in groups. All those kinds of things. Thanks for asking. That's what I do. Yeah, and there's some that you wonder is a soulmate. I can look at them and I can tell you about that too. All right. Well, let's see. So we are here today to support the 4 people that are on the panel. And before we start taking questions, I mentioned earlier, this is a great opportunity for everyone to practice opening to your intuition. So you might want to have something to draw and scribble with. That's everyone that's here. And then practitioners on the panel, I do strongly recommend you have something you can write with too. Messages are often fleeting. For in the audience and all of us on the panel, right? We all get to open as a result of working together. It's a great opportunity to see if what comes through you is similar to what the others share, that are on the panel, and get confirmation that you're tapping in a similar way. If you do have something come in that is for the person that asked the question, you wonder that it is for them, you're welcome to share it with them after you're welcome to ask about sharing it with them after we share. Please allow the attention to stay up on the panel when the panel answers. And then afterwards, if you want, you can private chat the person that asked the question and see if they'd like to hear what came through you. They may be full, they may not want any more. So please honor that the best you can. Aim to not take it personally. And yeah, it's not about you. They're just honoring themselves the best they know how. And then it's a great opportunity to learn from all that's asked and all that's answered, even if you don't ask a question yourself. And we want to honor you in the way we answer. So when you ask a question, if the panel goes deeper than you want us to go in this public format that is recorded and will be posted online, or we talk about topics you don't want us sharing here, that's all fine. Guide us back, interrupt us, give us guidance so that we stay honoring you in the way we answer today. And Jackie, I know you had something else that you wanted to share now that you're taking a drink, but yeah. What else did you want to ask or say? Or...
Actually, I had a question regarding the eyes. Your sessions, just curious, it dawned on me like, oh, I do love eyes. And so I'm curious if you could look at the past people that it didn't work out with, if you could find the common denominator that I'm looking at that's actually not working for me.
Oh yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean?
I do that all the time. Usually
That's brilliant.
we're attracted to people that are like someone from our family of origin. Sometimes it's the opposite of our family of origin, but usually it's someone in our family. Some people go from like one parent to the other parent, one parent to the other parent, and who they choose. And we're also often attracted to opposites. And so based on who we are, right, there are all these other options that are very different than us. And usually it's the people that are connected in some way to our family. We're really good in a whole field of hundreds of people finding the same eyes over and over and over. So I know we all read
Absolutely.
eyes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are welcome. Oh, and Manganese had another question. I assume it's a general question. Go ahead. Unmute. What is your general question?
I do eye readings as well, and I was wondering.
Do you do iridology, or what type of eye reading do you do?
I do intuitive eye readings.
Well, we got to connect offline. All right.
Yeah, definitely. And I was wondering, what's the scariest thing that you've picked up on somebody through their eyes?
Well, so it would be scary because of my own personal journey. That's what would be scary. So, for example, I was raised by someone that was narcissistic, my grandma, and to some extent my mom. And so there are times when I see that, or I see someone that seems like they're misusing power over others, I totally feel in my gut just, and it's because of my personal history. I mean, it might be that they're scary themselves too, but so this is a way that I recommend everyone learn to read. Notice what happens in your body, notice what happens to you emotionally, and notice that pattern. And when you see it in other people, you can connect that maybe it is the same. Oh yeah, I maybe one of the hardest things for me to read too is maybe hardest, like or maybe challenging for me personally. I have we have a new cat in the household that is act first, and my partner teases that he is act, feel, act. Normally people have some mixture of act, feel, and think, so I'm assuming he's really think third, but he's like act, feel, act, and he really is, and he's amazingly skillful in his body. And so I'm so thinky that I go like, a little bit around his energy. But again, it's about me. It's not that he's scary, it's just that I'm scared. So yeah, there's a little bit of things in other people. I never get questions about my eyes and my eye readings and all that. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, Manganese, I'd love to connect with you offline. All right. Well, let's see. So and I should say, so the panel today is on anything and everything. So all topics are open. Practitioners will they'll raise their hand if they have an answer, and it's okay if you want to share something for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, or you've got a couple and a half minutes. If we don't have a big line, it's welcome to share a little longer. And Dr. D and I might nudge you and give you a little more encouragement if we think that you've got more to share than you're sharing. And it's up to you to honor you. You can tell us, no, I'm done. And you can also take a risk and share a little more. Great. All right. So when we do request that you pay first, if you've paid to ask a question of the panel, it'd be great if you could let me know in chat so I make sure I get you in line. I know we do have one question that's already prepaid for someone that's here if they want to ask a question today. They might want to be ready to go. They might not know about this. They might know. They might want to go first. They might want to wait a little. Do you know who you are? And let me see if anyone else has paid already. I'm going to go check in my PayPal. Yeah, so let me go get a look. I'm getting in here. See if anyone else has paid. Come on, PayPal, you can do it. Go to the next screen. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything else right now. So let me see. JM, do you know that you have the opportunity to ask a question today too? I'm going to ask you to unmute, but I don't even know if you know I'm talking to you, but yeah. Did you want to ask
Yeah,
a question today?
so I think I don't know what to ask. I know last night was so powerful and I was just like, oh my goodness. And I had a weird dream this morning. I
Do you
don't
want
know
to?
what to ask. I'll wait.
Yeah, you can wait, but just know you've got a question. Okay. So if you want to, you can do that later. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I gotta think about it. I gotta
It's great.
think. I'm cooking. Yes, I'm cooking right now. That's why I don't have my camera on yet, but I will turn it on and then when it comes to me, then I'll if I have time, I can ask it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you can hold it for another time too. That's great. Hold the credit for another time if it's not today. All right. Well, so
Thank you so
you are welcome. So if our practitioners are ready, does anyone have a question for them? And we can, so practitioners on the panel, you can also ask questions of each other. That's totally great to do that too. Yeah, sometimes we need something like that to get started. Or Dr. D or Crystal or I, we can all ask a question. One of our other practitioners is in the audience getting ready to help run one of these. Oh, and we got more people coming in. I'm going to put the basic info in the chat. And yeah. So it's say whoever just joined us, make sure they can hear. Thanks so much for joining our Anything and Everything Awakening panel. It's our training panel where we have 4 people that are getting more experience answering questions in front of an audience at our MeWe events that are answering questions today. It is free to be here to listen and learn, and it's sliding scale, 10 to 14 or $6 for BIPOC folks as a step of making reparations to ask a question of the panel, and you'll likely get answers from several practitioners. So practitioners on the panel, do any of you have questions for the panel? Does anyone want any? And we got more people coming in. This is great. Oh, okay, Christina. Oh, let's start with Christina, and then if we don't have another question from the audience, we'll go with Jackie's.
All right, I actually have a question for Dr. D. I'm actually pregnant right now. All my children, I've had C-sections, and with this one, I want to do things a little bit different in regards to the birth. So what would you recommend for women that have to do a C-section in regards to the birthing process and making sure unfortunately, the surgical room is in the proper setting for a child to be born in?
And I just want to say, so we'll do a special thing. We'll let Dr. D answer, and then are you okay if anyone else has any other insight? Are you all right with that? Or do you want just Dr. D to answer?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. But yeah, so Dr. D special is going to get to answer a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, come on. Okay, what I recommend, first of all, is if you were to come and see me, we would do a consultation, what your past experience has been like and what led up to a C-section, because there's many medical or other situations that lead up to C-section. Was it last minute? Was the baby too big? These are all things, same thing with this pregnancy we would see to work. And how would you want to do a lotus birth? Did you want to do a water birth? And how to set all of that up where either it could be in the hospital or next to a facility that was not too far from the hospital in case a C-section is needed. That's what I would do. But I asked a list of questions because nothing for me is cut and dry. This being that you're carrying might have a whole different route that you want to go. Have you tried communicating with your being, the baby?
Not me. He hasn't connected to me and said how he wants his birth to be, but I've been told that it's going to be a quick one, and I just don't know what they mean by quick, because like I said, I have 3 other kids and they've all been C-sections because my hips are too small. They can't fit through. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one's going to go, because I've been told it's going to be fast.
Okay. Well, do you do yoga?
No, not right now.
Okay. There's things that back in the day, this is what we used to do. That's another reason why I'm a medicine woman. This is what we do. We prepare mothers for that. Is a certain way we move your hips and work with you to make sure to prepare for the baby to be dropped. So that's why I said it's, that way. What I would do is, for me, first of all, I would get a doula and work with them and let them see what is in their specialty to work with. That is what we call a VBAC, which means that you've had a C-section and now you want to deliver naturally. Now it can be a quick delivery. It can be a quick delivery. All depends on what you're doing up to that point as well. The reason I pause is like, I'm trying to get a sense of, yourself. So I don't like to also give stuff like this as an open room, especially for something that is important. I would not want to broadcast. You understand what I'm saying?
It's fine. Yeah, I understand.
Like certain things that I would tell you to do, I'm not gonna, if you're my client, I sit there and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I have a whole thing, but certain things, because I don't know who's looking and could be taken out of context. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I can list you some stuff. You send me your email and I'll give that to you as a gift from me to you. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Great. And then does anyone have any intuition for Christina about like this birth or like how to prepare or anything like that? And I guess that's quick could be it's a C-section again, and quick could be something else.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, and I agree with everything Dr. Dave she was saying, but yeah, I would just really just talk to your body, just really connect with your body and ask what is the best way to just really deliver with ease and grace this new being coming through, and just really listen and meditate and ask and try to connect with the baby too, of course, because your baby's going to actually initiate birth through their hormones. But so to prepare for that, just like what was said, talk to your body, try to get, your body has a innate knowing and a knowledge, and this already, you have 3 children. But yeah, I would just invite you to connect more deeper to yourself, to your body and the being. And congratulations, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear about it. How much longer do you think?
I'm due 8/9.
You said you're due on August 9. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. 8/9. Yeah.
Great.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Any other intuition for Christina? Thanks so much for letting us answer your question. And I'll just like as an example, like a nudge, or just like, what do you perceive about Christina and what Christina's like, and how Christina is make it an easier process or a more challenging process? Or
I would say you might be a little bit stubborn sometimes. So taking everything in that people are saying to you, like with Dr. D saying, do you do yoga? And you say no. You might hate yoga, you might be against yoga, but maybe really take that in and try that out, because I see you doing some type of physical thing that is going to help you make this an easy birth. I don't know. I'm just like seeing him coming out really easy, like the natural way. Like when you were talking, I just see him just almost like sliding out. I know that might be gross to some, but like it's my vision of like just easy, it's not gonna be there. I don't see any complication. Like it's just like he's like sliding down a slide, just wee. So it's just, I think like when I'm hearing her talk about yoga, it's like I just keep hearing, do the yoga. So try to do something. Like if you don't like yoga, something else. I don't know. There's so many different things. You can do water yoga, regular yoga, hot yoga, maybe Pilates, just moving your body in some way that just really definitely is being strongly, like when I hear something over and over, it's like definitely listen to that type of thing. Because you can, I'm just really resonating with her saying getting your body ready.
Yeah,
I have a
great.
comment.
Go ahead.
I've done hypnobirthing with people and, been at birth too. And I just thought it would be worth saying that hypnosis and hypnobirthing is a process of going inside. And if you're looking for answers or an information, and you're open to that information coming from yourself, you might look into hypnobirthing. It has kind of two aspects. One is to prepare you physically, and the other is to explore the mind spirit aspect of it and what comes through you, open channels. And it's a process like all things. You don't get anything unless you ask for it. And the way you ask for it is important. So, different people use that channel to connect to their body or to higher spirits or to ancient memories. And you might think about it and pursue it as an answer to your question. So I'm not giving you the answer. I'm just saying that's a channel that might open for you if you're looking for answers.
Who have you found that hypnobirthing is most helpful? Who finds that more helpful? What are the kinds of situations, or what do you imagine is here for Christina that it might be helpful for?
Well, I mean, like I said, there's two aspects. You can just move into the experience, or hypnobirthing can help you move into the birthing headspace, but it can also deal with past traumatic issues that might come up in the process. So, tensions, body connection, as a form of personal therapy, separate from the actual birthing, as a more sort of mind-body preparation for what's coming. So I can't say what's appropriate, it's not, in general, as I work as a therapist, I'm never saying what's appropriate for people. I'm just inviting things to come out, and I, welcome what comes out, and I don't presuppose anything. Can be anything. That's the best answer I can give you, given how little I know in this case.
Great, thank you. Christina, is there anything that you wanted to share about when Dr. D did ask you the question of like, are you doing yoga? Just your response and like what comes up for you as other people are mentioning it?
No, I currently do not do yoga, but I have done yoga. I'm actually in the process of finding someone that does prenatal yoga, but it's also lining up with my schedule, my kids' activity schedule, and things like that. But self-care is very important to me. Even though I don't do yoga like I used to, I do stretches and things like that in the morning while I'm in the shower, because things are a lot looser with the hot water there. But yeah, I'm active, I walk and things like that. But as of doing yoga right now, I don't do it. I do yoga positions in the shower, but that's about it.
That's good.
Yeah, I work on definitely my hips staying loose right now. Yeah.
I
Great.
personally see a lot of fear
Manganese,
going on.
sorry. The way we set this up is we have certain people on the panel, and they're the ones that are answering today. We would love to have you in a future event, though. Yeah.
Okay, thank
If you put your email in the chat, I can send you a bunch of info. Yeah, Dr. D, there was something else you wanted to share.
Yes. I love that he talked about hypnobirthing, because that's part of the doula training that I did was for that, because I love that. So that is something that, you know, a doula will specialize with. And thank you so much for sharing and clarifying and being so open. I want to thank you for that. I did leave some information in the box, especially for you, some other things for you that might be that some, like I don't know if you ever heard of 214 megahertz for women that want to be, you know, pregnant. And then I did 528 for the baby itself, for you basically doing meditation and actually communicate in that soul. This is my belief. I don't know how people feel. So that's why I say it's my belief that some souls don't come into the baby's body until later. And then some souls are in at the beginning. And it all depends. It might be that your son's soul is not there to communicate with you yet, or it might be that he is there. So it all depends. Like you said, he hasn't taught to you certain cravings. These are things that I look at there. There's a reason, and then there's a memory with the craving. Sometimes if it's something salty or something crunchy, it's some emotion that you're working out. You know, like giving you an example, if something sweet, you're needing more sweetness in your life. Do you follow what I'm saying? So that baby is also going to have certain cravings from their past life that's going to help you. So that goes back to, you know, what the young lady was saying. So just, you know, honor that. That's why I said I put a bunch of information, even down to the different T's. If it I'm gonna tell you this, what resonates with you, take it. Whatever, don't, leave it alone.
Yep.
That's all. So, and it's no shade to anybody. Nobody should feel away, or, you know what I mean? No judgment. And I send this, and I give this with love.
No, I agree. And also to clarify, I've had communication with my child before he was even conceived. So yeah, like he's been prophesized. So we do communicate. I do know some things, but I'm also, like I said, that's why I've asked you about the birthing process, because like I said, all of them have been C-sections, but I have a sense this one is not going to be. Like I'm having strong contractions and stuff already. So, and I'd never had those before.
Well, I'm going to say you're on target. That's why I said VBAC. So that's why I said, you know, when you have a C-section, when you actually deliver birth, it's called a VBAC, and they're prepared for that. So like I said, I just gave you some things. So I said, it's nothing but love, and congratulations. I'm happy and thank you. And, you know, for the little being for coming in at this time in peril in life.
Yeah.
And again, kudos.
Thank you.
Kudos. You're welcome, love.
Great, thank you. Thanks so much for giving us a question that we could play with. All right. I'm just checking to see if anyone else wants to ask a question of the panel. We would love to answer it. Put the information in the chat again. It is half price, and I think Jackie also has a question that we can play with. Checking PayPal.
Hi, yes, I have a question to play with. I'm curious, actually it's for Christina, because you were saying that you are a multidimensional channel of sorts. And so what is your take on the ascension and where we're at right now, and the different, we're seeing a lot of different activity. And also, do you notice that a lot of people's bodies are physically being tired or drained because of the shifts happening in the planet? Can you speak to that? Thank you very much.
And I just want to say, is it okay if Christina and anyone else that answers, if they say anything specific for you too?
Oh, of course,
Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you. Yes,
go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and different people's perspective on where they are in their awakening process, in their understanding process, are experiencing different things. With that said, we do have multiple timelines going on right now, and different things occurring on different dimensions. So I'm experiencing some things differently than other people, and you might be experiencing things different than other people, but your experiences should not be downplayed by someone else's. So say, for example, like the whole situation happening with Trump. I don't know why that just came through, but it told me to use that as an example. For some people, they see that as a catastrophe. Like, this is terrible. This is a horrible thing that's occurring, and it's going to affect a lot of things. But then there's other people that see it as a good thing, because it's literally checking off a mark of a process that we have to go through right now. That's going to be a part of an unveiling of things. It's going to be a trickle effect of a lot of things coming out in the open because of that. And then to kind of answer your whole things affecting people's bodies, there's a lot that could be affecting people's bodies. It could be the frequencies that are coming right now, the good ones, and it could be the bad frequencies that are being let off on purpose to trying to influence people's mind states, to influence their energy levels intentionally. And then the other fact that could be going on is Gaia is coming on. She's activating. She's basically tired of the bullcrap that is going on. So as she's using the frequencies that are coming from the cosmos to enhance herself, if people and things are not aligning with what she needs right now, then they're going to be affected negatively with the energies that are activating right now. But then there's other people that are coming online. Their genetics are being activated, and the draining and the sleepiness from that could be because they're upgrading. So like I said, there's a lot going on, and depending on where you are in your level of processing and understanding, your activations that you're going through, if you're even going through activations, you're going to be experiencing things differently at this time. And it's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad, it's just where certain people are at.
Great, thanks.
Thank you for that, Christina.
Oh, you're
I agree.
Yeah, so the link and Jana,
I
do
think
you have any other comments? Yeah, for Jackie.
I'll add, like, I'm very, very, very sensitive. I'm sensitive to any topic you can think of: pain, smell, lights,
Mhm.
weather. And I have chronic pain, and I have had some waves of, like, what I call flare-ups. I have had waves of super tiredness. And then I've also heard from a lot of people around those times where people are just not getting enough sleep, and they're really exhausted, and they're waking up in the middle of the night, and
Yeah.
they're like, what's going on? And so
Yeah.
I definitely feel like
Oh,
a lot of people are going through an ascension and coming out of the 3D into the 5D, and those are just some of those symptoms. And it's interesting to see the people just kind of around you, certain people, not everybody, more so more sensitive people that are feeling the same way. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. That makes me feel better when I know I'm not the only one, because I'm like, something's wrong with me. But yeah, I've noticed that when I'm going through these shifts, other people are as well. And, some people might have an off day or a bad day, and that just kind of, it's like these waves that it comes in. So, I just see it as we're leaving, like, the 3D, which has kind of become not that great, and wanting to stay, uplifted, and keeping our vibes high. And I think these are just some of the symptoms that we have to go through to keep going upwards. You're on mute.
Oh, I was just saying, sorry, I just said thank you so much, Jana. I
Yeah, of course.
appreciate that, because yeah, sometimes I'll be like so tired, and I'll be even trying to figure out, am I needing to eat differently? Am I not eating enough? I go to the gym and I'm just wiped out, and I'm still busting ass at the gym, but it's not the same. I feel like, whoa, I think I'm expending too much energy. So I'm trying to, and the collective, the astral situation is planets are coming in alignment. And so there's a lot going on in the sky, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think everything impacts our physical body. But yeah, so thank you. Did you have something, Lincoln, you wanted to share? I thought maybe you might. But thank you.
Well, I'm thinking of saying something about sleep, but I'm waiting for it to actually be pertinent. So, well,
But
since
I
you
agree.
invited it,
A lot of people are getting awakened in the middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning. So that is a thing with a lot of people I know. So yes, I don't know.
I make sleep a specialty, and the ironic thing about sleep is that everyone has a problem with it and no one wants to deal with it. Everybody wants sleep to be something that happens at night and they don't have to pay attention to in the daytime. And that's why they don't get anywhere, because sleep is a whole body thing. You have to organize your day properly if your nighttime is going to be regulated properly. So I'd talk about that as it becomes relevant, but I could go off on a tirade and I'll leave space for other people.
Is there anything that comes up for you, like that you have any intuitive suggestions for Jackie or questions for Jackie that around that? That's what's here for you?
If you're asking me, the answer is no.
Yeah. Okay, no, the answer is no. All right, yeah, I was checking.
But maybe later.
I do have some insight on that with how your body's being affected by things. Unfortunately, we have to keep in mind that a lot of the, like, was it Jana talking about the flare-ups with the frequencies that are coming in and the sleepiness and things like that. Unfortunately, and if you don't know, well, you're about to know, they put a lot of nanotechnology in our food and our water and breathing air. And some of those higher frequencies that are coming in right now to fight what they've been doing to us with the food, the water, the air, that's what you're combating. That's what's draining you. That's what's triggering a physical response in you, because you're basically having a reaction to these things getting dealt with, if you want to put it like that. So if you're feeling tired, you're feeling drained, Jackie even mentioned that maybe you should be eating different things. Yes, listen to your body during this time. If you need to rest, rest. If you all of a sudden feel the need that you need to start eating some apples, eat some apples. If all of a sudden you need to start eating more greens, do that. If you need to just don't eat anything and drink nothing but a whole bunch of water, do that. Listen to your body at this time, because like I said, we unfortunately, all of us, if you think you're walking around here and you don't have stuff in your system, it's in everything. You can't avoid it. So the stuff that's going on right now is intentionally trying to kill off, die off, reduce the crap that we have floating around in our bodies.
I'll add something there. People think that sleep is something that comes in a package that arrives with the sunset and continues till sunrise. And traditionally, sleep wasn't like that. People traditionally had a couple of sleep sessions, and obviously, if your metabolism goes up and down, your tendency to need rest does. And I would say that one of the things people with sleep issues should be doing is not seeing their irregularities as a problem, but as an opportunity to reorganize their schedule. And their body's telling them, if it wakes you up at night, well, maybe there's something you need to do at night for a little while. Rather than fuss about having woken up, get up and do it. And if maybe you could do that at another time in the daytime, maybe, but you have to give yourself space. You have to listen to what's waking you up. And then in the daytime, it may be hard, but I find it very useful when you get tired to rest. And you know, this is our scheduled society doesn't really give us that freedom. And then we get dysregulated and things don't work out and we think it's our fault. But you know, you have to push back against what isn't feeling natural. And sometimes that really means you have to take a commitment to what your body's telling you, in spite of what everyone else is putting demands they're putting on you, you know, school, work, society, friends. Anyway, it gets sort of psychological and spiritual as well as physical. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like, because one impacts the other, right? The mind, body, all of it. We're all connected, and all of our subtle levels and layers are connected. When I wake up in the middle of the night, though, I used to always think, okay, who's trying to talk to me? I mean, I don't know. I listen, or I journal, or I do something, but I feel like I feel like everyone has a piece of that pie, and but I think there's something going on. I don't know if you want to call it ascension, or there's just a lot of activity, and the people who are energetically sensitive are very aware. They may not be able to pinpoint what exactly is going on, but there's something going on in our system. So thank you, Christina, for bringing out basically it's a warfare for humanity's livelihood, basically. Now, who's in charge or who's at the helm of that warfare, to be debated, right? It's bigger than Trump versus Biden by far. It's way bigger than that. So it's just an interesting conversation. If we could even take a larger lens and see it as a bigger playing field, and who's all at play here and what's happening, who are the players, what galaxies are at work here, what planets are at work. And I don't know, but thank you for playing with that question. I appreciate it, guys, everybody. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, you're welcome. Just Dr. D, is there anything any nudging of anyone you want to do, or anything you want to share just in summary? Not so much a reading, but just a summary of anything, or?
Okay, I promise not to read. I was gonna nudge Christine, but she already took the hint, and I appreciate it. She gave very beautiful, not saying that everybody didn't. She was like so encouraging when she came back, exactly like I felt like the prod, and you did an excellent job. Everybody did a fantastic job. Lau did a wonderful job. I liked your explanation on sleep. That was fantastic, about everybody thinking it's a package deal. That was very imperative. Somebody here actually needed to hear that. So I want to thank you for that, because they needed to hear that. That was it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, thanks, Jana, for jumping in. I feel like you opened it up more so that it's easier for Lincoln to share too. That's good. All right, great. Well, we have, let's see, if someone in the audience is wanting to pay to ask a question, the information is in the chat. It's 10 to 14 sliding scale, or $6 for BIPOC folks. If you have paid or you're about to pay, let me know in the chat so we can get you in line. Meanwhile, Crystal, who's helping on the back end today, has a question to ask. So I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight. All right, what question do you have for the panel today?
Well, I think this is a unique opportunity with the variety that's being offered, that I would ask if any of you have something that Spirit's bringing to you that I need to hear at this time.
So I'll go first. I'm getting that Spirit's wanting you to listen. I feel like you are missing some of the things that they're trying to convey to you, signs they're trying to send to you. But now that you are being aware of this, as I'm saying this, you're going to be able to be like, okay, I need to listen. I need to look for signs. Do you ever get ringing in your ears?
Very seldom.
Okay, so when you do, look at what time it is, and then look up that angel number.
Okay.
So like right now, if it's 4:01 and I get a ringing in my ear, just Google angel number 401, and that's the message.
Okay.
I've actually been doing that for the past couple weeks, and it's been really cool. And I've been writing them all down. And because I would get them in both ears, and it happens to me kind of a lot. And I feel like that's been really helpful. And so I just feel like that was something I was supposed to tell you today, is to listen, but give you a tip on how to listen. But also you'll see signs, I don't know if you've heard of all the signs, like the numbers, the times, it could be like 444. Those are specific angel numbers also. And then songs on the radio, I'll get songs pop in my head, and I wasn't just listening to that song, something I hadn't heard in like years, and I just hear the tune and then I'm singing it and I'm like, why am I all of a sudden singing that song? The other day it was actually a message for my mom. We were texting at the time and I had heard this song come in and I said, "Do you know this song?" And it was from my stepdad to my mom, and so that was really cool, because she's still kind of not so sure about things right now. But yeah, that's definitely something. And then the other thing that I'm hearing is that you need to spoil yourself. I feel like you don't pamper yourself enough. Like, you're kind of like holding off on certain things, and spirit saying that, like, just do it. You know what I mean? Like, you deserve it. I I'm just hearing you like really help out other people, and you're not putting it into yourself. So know that, and it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It might feel that way, but it's really not. And you do work hard, and you put your all into everything you do. And so spirit is saying it's okay to, and you should reward yourself, whether that's a trip or uh your favorite dinner. Once in a while you're like, you know what? I want to get that. Don't be like, oh, I want to get that. Oh, I shouldn't. I need to go take care of these other people. No, you got to take care of yourself first. And I always see and hear the airplane analogy. You got to put your mask on first before you can put anyone else's on, because if you don't put yours on and you pass out putting someone else's on, then you can't help anyone else after that. So definitely take care of yourself, reward yourself, treat yourself. Treat yourself is what
Okay,
what comes up with that one. Yeah.
I have a
thank you.
comment too.
Hey, go ahead, Lincoln.
I, you know, the crystal asks for general guidance, and, so here ideas come up in my, people, it sort of, I'm reminded with the sleep issues, people are often impatient. We often think that an issue needs to be solved because it's presented to us and we want the solution right now. So this comes up with being patient for things to work themselves out,
Mhm.
and not expecting resolution for complicated things immediately. So it's just like when Christina was suggested to do yoga, or wasn't really suggested, but the idea of it, and the issue of being woken up in sleep, and people want to know how to nail that down. And so Crystal asks for general information, and people say, I want it right now. There's this, when we say being broader and how we look at things, I think it's also important to be broader in our time scale about how we see things, so that things often take repeated encounters. And this is what we do in our lives. We cycle around and around. We sometimes make fun of ourselves for our repetitive nature, but there's a reason for it. It's because we're working on an issue that needs to be not just moved through step by step, but needs to be reviewed in its whole. And we keep returning to the whole to recreate it and see it. So my message is basically just see what's coming past and see how it affects you, and be open to it without demanding what's the answer, what's the lesson, what's the decision that needs to be made. They say, monks meditate for 75 years or whatever ridiculous thing you might hear. And the lesson is that it takes time, and we're impatient by nature. We live by the clock, but that's not really how the world works. It works by networking and building and evolving. So really, that's patience and perseverance, and not to beat yourself up or to become irritated by a lack of what seems to be progress in the moment. All right, I hope that is useful.
It was. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lincoln. We've got Jackie and then Christina.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Jackie.
Hey. So as I was asking, something came forward, and if you want to play with me, and can I connect to you? Is that all right? We connect?
Absolutely.
And if you want to close your eyes, but this is what I was kind of being shown. And so as I was reflecting upon you and who you are and asking, I was brought to your name, Crystal. So Crystal, together, I'm inviting us to go into our heart space and to just really be there, Crystal, and allow the crystal of who you are just to show yourself who you are. This is basically what I'm sensing. It's like, allow yourself to let the mental body take a rest for a minute and drop all of your energy and all of your essence into your heart. And not only now, but I mean in general, when you have time, just be in your heart space. Then release all the barriers and the projections and conclusions and expectations and responsibilities and somebody else's ideas for who you are and what your life should look like. Release all that and allow yourself to be in your heart space so you can be with yourself again, your authentic self. Remember your beauty, your love, your beauty, your softness, your gentleness, your kindness. Allow your heart to expand and make a home again in your heart so you can be reconnected to yourself, and let all the facades and all the cares of this world just crumble away, dissolve away with grace, 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 and crystalline water. Allow it to flow over you, to wash away everything that's not true, everything that's never been true. Allow it just to fade away with grace and peace and awareness again, remembrance of your divine essence of love. And just stay there. There's no rush. There's nowhere to be. There's nowhere else to be. It's my offering for you, my dear.
Thank you, Jackie.
Very lovely. Thank you.
All right, we have Christina next.
Hi, Crystal. When you just put out your very broad question, typically when someone does that, I get directed to cards to work with for them. And it kind of ties into what Jana was relating to you with the numbers, angel numbers. So I ended up pulling, and of course it'll probably be backwards when I show it, but pride with the number 19.
Mhm.
And then this one, domestic harmony with the number 46. First of all, 19 reduced down, you get 10. 6, 4, you get 10. And I got that, pay attention to when you see 10, 10.
Okay.
So if you see it on a clock or a license plate or anything that, like, quickly become aware to what you're thinking at that time, what's around you, more importantly, what you were thinking at that time, and then look around, even if you're in a car, and see why the 1010 is popping up. Yes, there's general angel numbers of what they quote unquote say they mean, but when you're working with your guardians, your guides, those numbers will be specific to you and what they need to mean. It's just that you need to pay attention to your environment to figure out what that is.
Mhm.
So right now they're saying when you see 1010, pay attention to your environment, what you were thinking at that time, and follow that pattern. So whenever you see the 1010, see if it's matching up to what you're thinking or what you're going through at that time, so you can get an idea of what 1010 means for you in regards to your relationship with your guides and your guardians.
Okay.
And then the other overall thing is, I don't know if you're active in the pride community and things like that, or you're in a relationship like that, or and you have any ties to that. It's calling out that you do play a role in some of that in some sort way, and pay attention to your partnerships that you have at this time, regarding with pride and with your relationships, and seeing them as a healing process, a healing moment in it. And then the other card that I pulled on it, because I was trying to figure out like, why is it pulling that out? Then I got this other card that I was supposed to pull for you, and it basically says the ever unfolding rose, and it has to do with being cracked open and allowing yourself to heal, and seeing when things are quote unquote happening to you, they're not actually happening to you, they're happening for you.
Mhm.
These are moments that will help you grow. If you have situations that are occurring that are causing irritation or making you upset, realize that it's some place within yourself, maybe even your subconscious, that you haven't dealt with. And that's why these things are occurring. So now you have to pay attention to it and have to deal with it. Because if not, these situations are going to keep happening until you start learning from them.
Right.
So whatever that is, with things happening to you relating to pride in your relationships and healing from those things, that's the overall message that I'm getting for you, along with the 1010 and paying attention to those numbers when they pop up around you.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Anyone else? Or Crystal? And Dr. D, yeah, any nudging of anyone that we want to do, or any other questions you want to ask them about Crystal? Go ahead. We can't hear you. You're muted. Yeah.
I'll get it. I think I'm speaking, but I'm not. But you know what I mean. I was gonna ask. I'm trying to think because I gotta forgive me from Jan. What was
Jana,
a message like? I feel like something needs to come through. I see your face to me looks kind of, it's pink and red, like you're bursting at the seams. You want to say something, but you're holding it. So am I wrong or?
Well, I'm a practitioner, and so everything y'all been talking about, I can't respond because that's not my role today. So it's driving me crazy because I want to just jump in and participate and respond to all the stuff that y'all are talking about. Because I'm not in my head so much. I'm looking like a bobble doll over here on a really rocky road that somebody's driving, because I'm just shaking my head around. I'm going to have a concussion by the end of the day.
it's
So,
great. You're getting perfect experience of what it's like being on one of these panels where we're not allowed to share, but yeah.
Yep. So that's the bursting at the seams part, I think, is what you're picking up on. Yeah.
And was that to Crystal or is that to Jana? Dr. D.
That was Jana.
It's true.
Was both.
Both of them.
Oh, because like I said, I'm looking at her and it's like she wants to say something, but like I don't know if she's holding back. So that's why I was asking her, go ahead and say what you have to say. Whatever.
Oh no,
wants
I
to come
said it.
forward.
I just have naturally rosy cheeks.
Is there anything more?
I'm very warm right now. So
Okay.
yeah. No, I said everything. I always definitely pass along everything Spirit's telling me. I don't hold back on things. I always, like, that's why I said for my special, I don't do a set time. because sometimes a ton of messages come out, sometimes only a few, and even if there's just a few, you could talk for forever. So I don't want to make there be a time limit on people. So
That's honorable. Yeah.
It's
So this
great,
has all
Dr.
been
D.
very,
Yeah.
everything that you all shared with me has been very appropriate for what's happening in my life right now. So I'm very appreciative because it's confirmation as well to me about what I'm working on. So very much appreciate you all taking the time to share with me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Mm.
But yeah, Dr. D, is there anything else in terms of the summary or that? My cats are now talking to me, so I got to go open a door. See, Dr.
Speaking of
Lincoln's cat is
cats.
here. All right. Cat Central, they're all talking. All right, you can come in. All right. Here comes the act, feel, act cat. All right. Well, thank you
And
so much.
Lincoln's
Crystal.
cat's on the
Mhm.
screen too now.
I know, yeah. And someone else has a cat that seems similar. Was it someone else is holding another cat that, oh, here we go. We're attacking the plants. Let's not do that, please.
oh,
Come here. Let's put you on
I've got two,
screen.
and I'm really surprised they aren't in here. One of them
Yes,
came in
come
here at the beginning, and then she just left.
on, buddy. Come on, let's. Someone else had a cat
Oh.
that looked very similar. Who was it? Was it Jackie? Someone? Yeah. Hey, Winston. Winston Wild Kitty. There you go. All right. Let's see. I'll move Crystal off, and maybe I have a question. If we don't have someone else that has a question. I have someone that is following me around that's in the waiting room right now that is a very gentle bomber. Okay, we're not eating my plants, sweetie. I know you may want to, but we're not eating it. Off. Come on, let's get off the table. Sorry, everyone. So we have this gentle bomber that is in the waiting room right now, who follows almost all of our MeWe events. And the person comes to the waiting room and comes to the waiting room and comes to the waiting room. And if I let them in, they'll come in and hang out in the room. And after a little while, they'll write in the chat, boring, boring, change the channel. So, gosh, I certainly tell like, see, I have lessons in learning to like ignore things that aren't relevant. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Manganese. I know you've got information to share, but I'm wanting to support the 4 people that are on the panel today. So they're the ones that get to answer the question. So yeah, like, what is this lesson for me? I've reported them a bunch on Zoom. You know, I've done screenshots and all that. They just keep coming back. They played a joke. Yeah, see, they played a joke on me yesterday. Yesterday it was capitalized. So the name's Tiffany and it's a lowercase t. So it's a lowercase t. That's part of how I always know. And yesterday someone with a lowercase t and the capital on the P, poison, came in the beginning. And I thought, oh, it's Tiffany. I bet it's Tiffany again. So I wrote in the chat to the waiting room. I said, oh, great last name. Didn't let them in. And so Tiffany Poison just joined again too, but Poison has a lowercase p today too. And I occasionally get so tired of them doing this. I've changed their name. And so they've gotten the message that I changed their name. I said, like, please go away. And so yes, they're playing with me with the names and stuff like that. So what is this all about for me? And what are my lessons here? I feel like I gotta like not see what I don't want to engage, but I have lessons. Yeah. Does anyone have any insight about that?
I would say it's about distraction and how you should just focus on what you're focusing on and don't let them take your attention away from what you're doing. And they're going to continue. It's just kind of like shifting your mindset about it, because like I get it. When I would do Facebook Lives for readings, I would always have scammers come in there. I mean, it was just frustrating. And so I just like got mad about it and I just got irritated about it and I stopped doing Facebook Lives. And gosh, even sometimes I'd have a Facebook Live and have nobody and I'm like, oh, this was really nice. And then after I'd like go to bed, wake up to like 50 notifications for this person commenting on everybody's comments, like, hey, message me for a reading. And I have to go in and block them and remove all the comments. And I just got like really irritated about it. But now I've just like let it go and I just don't really do Facebook Live anymore. But I have been doing a collab with someone I met here on the online fair in October of last year. And we're doing it through Zoom, which is great because having that waiting room, you get to pick who you're letting in and who you're not letting in. So they can sit in the waiting room, you know, as long as you want them to. And so if you kind of think about it like that, where you have this platform that's great, where you can, you know, you mostly know who the people are and you get to kind of control it. Think of it like that. If we were doing this on Facebook, you would be just like left and right swatting them out of here. But like with that, you can't like kick them out on Facebook. So if you just kind of like don't let them win by them making you feel a certain way, like upset, irritated, just try to like, you know, you might notice it and then that's it. And just focus on what you're doing and focus on the next thing. Move your attention away.
Yeah, so practice letting go and practice
Yeah.
choosing where to put my attention.
Yeah. And know that, like, be grateful that you have the waiting room, because Facebook Live, we don't have the waiting room.
Great, great. Thank you. All right, Christina.
I was basically just going to say, don't take it personal. The system is set up. When I say the system, how we're being watched, how specifically this community is being watched. They have to send people in to keep an eye on what we're doing. So unfortunately, a lot of those scammers and people that jump in and are just putting any type of random comments and things like that to, once again, like Jana said, distract you, but it's also, they're spying. I hate to break it to some people, but in every aspect of our life, we're somehow being watched. And to think that this community is not being watched, we're living in a fairy tale. So when, unfortunately, some of those incidents, when they occur, it's because they're sending in people to watch and give feedback on what we're talking about, the people that are in there, the gifts that we're talking about and using and things like that. And then they're reporting back to people. So once again, be happy that you have a platform where you don't have to let people in like that, and you can choose and you can see it. But at the same time, know the underlying reason of why it's happening. But don't take it personal, because it's happening to anyone and everyone that is working in this community and working to, you know, put things back into alignment. They got to keep an eye on us. So.
Thank you. Someone in the audience asked if you could share a bit more about they. Who is the they that's watching?
The they. We can call the they the government. We can call the they certain beings that want to keep an eye on what's going on this realm, and it trickles up to people. It could be AI. It isn't always a physical person that is jumping into these chats that are causing issues and things like that. So it could be a broad range, but it doesn't really matter who the they is. They're reporting information to someone, something that's even higher than them. But once again, sometimes it's not even a physical person that is jumping into these things.
Yep, great, great. And Dr. D, did you have something that you wanted to say to one of the practitioners or something like that?
No, I was going to speak to this. It's just basically what we call trolling.
But I think we should, I know this is where we got to practice. We got to like not share those.
Oh.
It's okay. I know this is so hard. All right, so we got, you can share with me later. So we got Lincoln and Jackie. I know this is the hardest part for practitioners, for those of us that are helping with this panel, is to not share.
Yeah,
Right.
you can call it trolling. You can call it that, and you can put a face on the troll, or you can put an AI on the troll. Regardless, it's done on purpose. Let's just,
And it's great that this one finally has now started to play a little bit with the names and stuff. So we actually have some communication for the first time. When I've written to the person when they're here in the meeting, they don't ever respond back to me. So this is the first communication back and forth. All right.
Let me add a little. I want to say, if you want to get out of the box, or if you find yourself constrained, get out of the box. And I'd mentioned before the idea of time and extent and patience. And I'm just reminded that, in World War II, German Jews didn't leave Germany because they couldn't conceive of the idea that they wouldn't be considered good Germans. And I've actually emigrated to Canada. I'm a dual citizen because I thought, I vote with my feet. And if the software isn't doing it, or the nation isn't doing it, or the situation isn't doing it, change this, do what you can to change. So if Facebook Live isn't giving you the tools you need, migrate away. I'm trying to migrate away from Meetup because they're not giving me the tools I need. It takes time, it takes investment, it takes disconnection. We're not very good with disconnecting. I mean, this is like the biggest thing I find in therapy is people can't disconnect from their investments. I mean, who can? You've invested in things. But you don't want to be the last person to leave the box. You want, and being the first person has its risks, but if you're an explorer, and Laureli, you certainly are, honor that in yourself. If you're getting the message that this box is a little too small for me and the lurkers, well, leave the box. That's all I have to say.
Cut holes in the box, let other things float through and out of the box,
Absolutely.
change my filter in some way, change the
Yeah.
container, change the shape of the container, change my filter. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love it. That's great. You don't want to be constrained, get out of the box. All right. All right, Jackie, what do you got?
Hi. Well, I think maybe I have a little different perspective on this whole thing because actually a quote unquote hater or somebody, it's like a heckler, if you will. If you were at a stand-up club, they're heckling, but they're wanting attention. And so they're drawn to this group for some reason. So there's a pull, but they're part of their ego or mental body personality has to, it's not quite in alignment yet because they're still fighting the attraction somewhat, because that's why they're heckling you or making fun of you, because that's how they can justify even being here. You know what I mean? So if you just give them the attention that they want, like, hey, Poison or whatever your name is, so, oh, you think we're boring? Well, what would you like to talk about? Do you have a question we can answer? And just invite them. This is me. You may not, it doesn't matter if you agree, but I've seen this work. But if you actually acknowledge them, because they're wanting something and they feel like they can receive something from you, otherwise they wouldn't even be here. Why would they care? So if you acknowledge them and say, hey, I see you're here every week. Thanks for being here. Okay, they're disagreeing. It doesn't matter. This is my opinion. Again, like this case in point, right? If they're not agreeing on some level, they're still interacting for a reason. So like, how can we help you? What would you like to talk about? Is there something more interesting you'd like to talk about? Would you like to channel galactic aliens? Like, what would be exciting for you? Maybe they're autistic. Maybe they don't have impulse control and they're really just saying, hey, this is boring. Change the channel, talk about something really cool for whatever that would be for them. But that's my take on it. It's just like a kid that needs attention. Bad attention is better than no attention. And so that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you.
It's great. And actually, and I realized I have autism, and so there are all kinds of ways too, just that engaging in ways to get our needs met that don't always work in the context that we're in. Yeah, so I wondered what other way I can interact with them when they do show up. They did go away as we're talking about them. They went away and they haven't come back. So yeah, very, very
Laureli, I
interesting.
will also say it's definitely better than some of the other ones I've heard of that
Oh my
come on
gosh, yeah.
here.
We've had some really outrageous bombs. Fortunately, we haven't heard those
So
in
it could
quite a
be
while.
worse.
Yes, it's so true.
I heard about one
Okay.
and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was a thing on here. So, and then I
Yeah.
also wanted to say, there's something with Facebook Live too about people going on here and asking how much your couch is or something. I've heard of that one too.
Oh, so it
So
related
I
kind
think,
of. random
I
things.
don't know what the thing is with that. I don't get the joke. I think it's just something dumb to say. I don't know. But I guess I'd rather have somebody say, "This is boring," and then you can say, "Okay, well, you're
I
free to go," or remove them.
It's great. Yeah, the person asked, "Who is the troll? Is it me?" So I don't know if it's you. Someone in the audience. You came in around the same time that the other person disappeared, and you have a new name this time if it's you. And I was wondering, is this you or is this not you? So it could be. Is it you? Are you the one that comes and hovers at the edge and yeah, I don't know. So so what is it that you want from being here and coming on the outside? Oh, so now someone's here that has a related name but isn't the same name. So I don't know. So we're finding out like who's here right now. Yeah, so if it is you, I was asking, why do you come? Like, what is it about for me? What is the message for me? And my kitty is here on my desk chewing on something else now too. So clearly my kitty needs a bunch of attention. Oh, my little teenage kitty. Oh my goodness, 7 or so month old kid. And oh my gosh, big and so much attention. All right.
Oh, and Jana, if I can just speak to the Facebook Lives, I
Yeah.
actually did, because I used to get a lot of spammers too, and that is annoying. So what I actually did is I made mine private, so no one can enter our private group. So it's a safe sanctuary for people that want to just play. And so you might think about that for your group. It's just
Oh, well,
just
I
an
usually
idea.
go live on my business page, but I
Mhm.
did make a group, so I could go live from the group maybe. But the problem is sharing to other groups to get more people to join, and then those groups possibly aren't regulated enough or something. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay. Yeah.
Great. All right.
Can
Well,
I make a comment?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And then we might have we have a real question too from an audience
Oh,
member
okay.
that
Well,
we're going
the
to get to
quick
in a moment. Go ahead.
comment is the quick comment is that sometimes it's really inscrutable what people need, and you can't really supply their needs without being deeply involved in them. And if you don't have that space, you probably can't manage the energy. So, I mean, I get people, that's why I charge money to talk to people, because I have to put up with it and I put a timeline on it. And I don't regret the fact that I've been pressed upon, because that's my reward. And if you're not getting paid for the misery you have to take, you probably, you're righteous in feeling exploited, and you should do something about it.
Yeah.
If they need therapy, they need therapy. They need more than just commentary. So you may not be able to get an answer as quickly as you would hope.
No, I get that. I get that. I just figured, since I'm the one that's having this experience and I have this irritation around it, there's a thing here for me. So I want to get the thing that's here for me. Yeah. Great. Thank you everyone so much. Well, I guess anyone else want to share any nudges for anyone? Yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you everyone. So I've been doing this and it's been over a year that the person has been hovering in the waiting room. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Laura, are we gonna talk after this? Because you said you wanted to talk to me.
Well, I want to send you an email about joining our events because it sounds like you got a lot of yeah.
Definitely.
So great. I sent you a text and yeah, so either give me your email in the chat or send your email by text, and yeah, I'm happy to connect too.
And is it okay if I leave Christina with a message when it's not recording, like one-on-one?
Well, so let's see. So Christina's going to come up and work, or not Christina. I'm trying to. Oh, Christina. Okay. You can private chat anything to Christina that you want. Or I said, let's see. So if Christina asked a question earlier, so if you're wanting to share feedback with Christina from the question that she asked, the thing that we ask that you all do, and those of you that come on later don't hear this, please private chat the person and ask if they want to hear what came through you that might be for them. Please honor whatever they say. If they want it, feel free to share. If they don't want right now, they might give you their email address and said, please, if you could email it to me, whatever they want to do. It's up to you if you want to follow through with that, but please honor whatever their requests are around that. Yeah. So then, and I want to encourage
Thank you.
anyone in the audience too, like when you have stuff come through you and you so want to share, these are messages from the universe that you might be a practitioner, right? That you have gifts coming through you and you, like, the universe is wanting you to share and find contexts in which to share. So your opportunity is to find those contexts One thing you can do is come to the MeWe practice circles. We've got a practice circle again on April 30. I just put our upcoming events in the chat. So you can come and practice sessions with peers. You can create practice however you want in your life. You may be doing tons of practice already, and you may need to start asking for donations, right? So it's the opportunities for all of us to step in to follow through the nudges that the universe is giving us of our purpose and our path that's showing up. And Lisa and I don't think I have one coming up on the 12th. It didn't make it into that schedule yet, but I'll go get it. Lisa and I, Lisa Stewart and I, one of the other practitioners, we have groups for starting and growing your intuitive business. So there are all kinds of ways you can get support to sharing your work in the world. All right. Well, I think Jennifer is ready to ask a question. Jennifer, are you all set for me to bring you up on here? Now you're taking another drink and then let's get you up. Okay, great. I'm going to bring you up here. Jennifer has a question for us.
Hi, everybody. So my question is, I keep having these dreams of driving, and I want to drive, but I have this fear of driving. And I'm just trying to, I want to ask does anyone see me actually driving, or does the dream mean something else? Because I feel like if I learn to drive, I can take my kids places, I can get around more and do things. And I've been just thinking about it, like, should I go get my license? Should I not? Or I don't know. That's my question. If anyone can help me.
Real quick, are you able to give us more detail in regards to what occurs in a dream?
So I've had dreams where I'm always driving really fast. Like, I'm driving, but I'm always driving really fast, and it either crashes or I go over a cliff, or the car is just not moving, like I'm out of gas, that kind of thing. Or it's like, it's never like an easy ride. It's like always like chaotic. Like, just if I'm going too fast, it's like I crash. If someone else is driving, it's fine. And then I have other dreams that I'm literally just driving normally, and I see myself driving like it's no problem at all. But then when I wake up, it's like I have that fear of like, oh my gosh, like I don't see myself driving, but I feel it. Like I get that urge, like when I wake up, like I need to get my license. Because I get really frustrated, like depending on other people for rides, or if I can't get somewhere and I have tons of groceries, I have, tasks and errands and things that I need to run, jobs that I want to take that requires you to have a vehicle or transportation, or, if an emergency, or just even traveling and taking my kids somewhere. But it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know if it's encouraging me to drive, or should I not? Should I let someone, I don't know.
And what's the fear associated with driving? Where did that come from?
So I had this, the fear of two things. One of the visions that I had was I was standing, it was almost like an out of body experience where I was looking at the vehicle up in flames, and I was looking at my body just laying, it's always a white vehicle. And I was laying there watching, like looking at like the car up in flames. And I was thinking to myself, I know sometimes my mind, I'm constantly worrying a lot and nervous, like I have nervousness. So I was like, I don't know if I should be driving. I don't know if I'm gonna like lose my focus, or if other people, I have to watch for other people, driving. Because I know some people, they just rear end people. They just, there's a lot of accidents. But that was the one thing that scared me, is just, I'm like, is it trying to tell me, no, don't drive? But then also my mother, I was in a car with her one time, and we had just gotten in contact with each other, and she was driving for a long drive back from Lake Placid, and she fell asleep at the wheel. Like, she was falling asleep, and there was an 18-wheeler truck coming on the side of us, and it was pulling us under the car. And I freaked out, and I was like, Mom, so I have this fear of the 18-wheeler trucks, because there's just been so many incidents with them, and I'm always thinking like they're everywhere, and everyone keeps saying, oh, how are you ever going to drive if you're afraid of the 18-wheeler trucks? But I was like, I'll drive local, I'll figure it out. But there was one point that I did drive before, and I wasn't nervous. I just was driving. And now it's like, since I've gotten older, I feel like my nerves just became a little more, since I have my children, I'm just like always nervous, like, but I want to drive. I want to, get out there and get on the road and get over it and just figure out what is it that is, just trying to figure out what is it that's stopping me. Like, is it the fear, or is it the universe telling me, no, you shouldn't be driving? Like, I'm just not knowing if I'm able to do it or not, or if I should be doing it or not.
All right, great. Thank you so much. All right, yeah, I think we got context. Christina, I don't know if you want to wait or if you want to let go as this is your turn. We've got others that are ready. It's totally up to you.
I'll wait.
Okay, great. So we've got, it looks like Jackie, and it was a Jackie. I think you just had yours up. So Jackie, Lincoln, and then Jana. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for sharing that, Jennifer. And I saw you shortly last night, so thank you for being here. But yeah, so first I want to just acknowledge the fear that you absorbed into your body, not only being in the almost accident with your mom, but also having children sets a different something in our situation, our body, because we have to be around for our kids. I totally get that. And that fear, if it's not tempered, can totally keep us in the house doing nothing, so not that that's what you're doing, but so, and I can't tell you what to do. Nobody here can tell you what to do. You have to tap into your own being and work through that fear and that trauma of what happened or what almost happened, and just gently maybe go back in time and heal that space that's holding you captive, basically. Because when you're dreaming about driving, I feel like what I first heard you say that, I feel like it's a dream about you moving on in life, you moving forward in life, you being in the driver's seat of your own life and not relying on other people. Because I heard you say every time you're letting other people drive you around or do something, you're disappointed in some way. That's what I heard. So if I misheard you, please correct me. But so I feel like this is an invitation for you to really step into the sovereign being that you are. Fear and all, we're all fear. We all have some fear about something, but if we allow fear to just hold us captive, we're never going to do anything. But if we allow that fear to kind of turn down the volume on it and be our ally, and because it's trying to protect you, fear is trying to protect you. But sometimes by trying to protect us, it keeps us back, it keeps us stuck. So if you can just talk to that fear in your own work or with some support with one of these beautiful practitioners, whatever feels right for you, just deal with that fear, deal with that trauma that you absorbed, and it could also be generational trauma. But say, hey, I know that you're trying to keep us safe here, but I also need to move forward and be competent. I need to be able to get where I'm going. I need to be able to get groceries for my family, whatever. Just have a conversation with your body that's holding the fear, have a conversation with fear itself, and have a conversation with you and say, yeah, I got this. Baby steps, maybe baby steps, whatever that looks like for you, just take one step at a time and gain your confidence and maybe just even start by sitting in the car again. Go with your best friend and just sit with him or her and just, I don't know, baby steps, getting your confidence back so you can be in the driver's seat of your life. That way you can't, you can't blame anybody. If you're in charge, you can't blame anybody else, right? So you got to own it and do it. So that's my word for you. Blessings. Thank you.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely feel like I do have a friend that's been saying, I'll take you to drive if you want to. And every time she does, like I freeze up. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, scared, like chicken feet. Scared. But I thank you. That okay. That helps. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jackie. Lincoln is next. Well, let's get you unmuted.
Thank you. The way I understand dreams is as a way to open your rational mind to all the thoughts, memories, and associations that lurk in the boundaries. And that it's a mistake to think that dreams are telling you one thing or trying to tell you one thing. I feel dreams are trying to invite you to consider all things. They're an invitation to go firewalking in the memories and associations that you normally don't know what to do with. So when they show you threats and discomfort, they're almost always dysregulating. They almost always do not fit things together. And I think that's the point. Your dream is a reflection of your deeper feelings, and the invitation is to sit with them and to decide, if you are really uncomfortable, make that part of your personality and say, I'm not ready to do it yet because it lingers in my spirit. And at the same time, you could say, well, it's a reasonable concern and I'll keep my eye on it. But I need to move forward with certain plans and keep touching what your feelings are and your memories and your associations, so that this idea that we're going to have a plan, all our spirit is going to be behind it, everything is going to go normal and work out, is not entirely respectful to all the different voices and feelings and memories that you have. So yeah, you have this memory of your mother and the 18-wheelers and falling asleep, and all of those things are really there. You have to feel confident in those associations that they won't sneak up on you like specters, and that you not only know how to drive, but you know how to maintain your composure. And it's not, if you don't feel that you can maintain your composure, that's fine. That's reality. Then you work on it. It may not be a driving exercise, it may be a trauma exercise, but it all needs to get put into shape to get your spirit and attention and focus and confidence online when you go driving. So it's a general invitation to your thoughts and feelings. That's my take on it.
Thank you. I definitely, when you guys mention about like how the dream, it kind of, I feel like it's like one of them said, and one of the ladies that said, or the lady before it was that, like being in the driver's seat and taking control of my life. And I feel like that's how I've been feeling, like I don't have control. Like it's always someone taking over. And I know I struggle with decision making. Sometimes I struggle with decision making, and just knowing what's the right decision and how, and allowing it to guide me. Like it seems like in my dreams, I'm not thinking as much. I'm not like worrying. I'm just doing it naturally without all the, I know, I can believe someone told me, like, if we can work things out in our dream before we awake, like we're supposed to work it out in our dream first and then in the waking life. And I was feeling like, am I supposed to do it, or was it something else? But I feel like that I get what you're saying. Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks, Lincoln.
Thank you.
We've got Jana next.
Okay, so definitely dreams are not always what they seem. So it seems like straightforward. You're having a dream about driving, you're doing crazy things that really scare you to drive in your waking life. But your dreams are actually just showing you to slow down because you're going fast. The fast is causing the accident. There's definitely a lot of anxiety there also. But I'm just hearing for you that Spirit is saying you can slow down. You don't have to rush anything. If you're having trouble in any area of your life, you don't have to do the same thing as anyone else. You don't have to put certain rules on yourself. Just know that you get to set your own rules. You get to set how you do anything. And slowing down and also entails like not feeling a super rush from anybody or any outside influence to feel like you have to drive right now and you have to be all the way at the end of your journey working towards driving. You don't have to do that tomorrow. So I'm just hearing definitely slow down. This could be something in regards to driving, but it also, I'm just hearing, is pertaining to other parts of your life also, where it's okay to take a step back and see, is this how I want this to go? And that could be, friendships, relationships, job, whatever aspects of your life. Spirit's just asking you to slow down, take a look at things, see how you can change them to be the way that works for you. Doesn't have to be anyone else's way that works for them. It's the way that works for you, and know that you have control in doing that. Don't let anybody else make you feel bad about doing things a different way. We all do things different ways. And
Sorry, everyone. I thought we might have had some.
oh no!
Sorry, 1 second, everyone. Yeah, right, out of here. I wondered that we might have something going on. Oh, goodness. So we probably have someone else in here too. We had a whole bunch of people come in at the end.
Wow.
So sorry, few of you. I'm just going to let some of you leave. Yeah, oh, adrenaline. All right, okay. I'm not sure if there's anyone else still in here or not. All right. Yeah, I know. All right. Whew. Oh. Okay, so yeah, find your way
Yes, back
back.
to Jennifer. Jennifer, this is your time. So yeah, make sure that you're doing things the way that works for you. For example, and this doesn't have to be your specific thing, but this is what I've told a few people. Sometimes people are just not set out to do a 9 to 5 type of job. And I feel like there's been a huge awakening and changing of that because of the pandemic. And so people are like, oh, I can work from home. This is great. Like, this works better for me because I want to be home. I want to be doing things from home, whatnot. I'm definitely one of those people that always thought growing up that I needed to be.
Sorry, everyone.
Going
All
and
right, we
not
got
be
another
interrupted.
one. Sorry, I got who it is. Oh
Yes,
my.
we gotta get the.
All right.
Suck my fucking balls.
Oh goodness.
Wow. Thank you for taking care of that, Lorelei. Jennifer, so if something like that, that's just an example. I was always growing up like knowing that I just was, everyone around me was like doing specific jobs that were like corporate type jobs or 9 to 5 type jobs. And I was following along with that, and then my chronic pain started happening, and then I was just like, I can't do that. Like, I literally can't do that. So figuring out what works for you, that's what works for me, is like I do stuff from home, or I do things that work with my schedule. I also don't get up early. Like, some people are night owls, some people are morning people, and you just have to figure out what works for you. And I've had people that um have given me some trouble about, oh, well, you don't get up till whatever time. And I'm like, that's what works for me. Like, when I set my schedule to do a certain time of sleep or work or whatever, then I feel better, instead of like trying to get up early, then I don't get enough sleep and then I have more pain. So those are just examples of ways that you need to slow down, look at your life as a whole, and then look at all the sections. And if something's just not working for you, change it. You have the power to change it. This is like kind of like a new slate for you. As far as driving, that's a whole new slate. You get to do that however you want. If you want to just sit in your car and just listen to music as your first step, that's a great step, because then and then listen to stuff that's upbeat and stuff that you enjoy, because then you're going to associate being in the car with like these really cool songs. Or just sit in the car and talk to a friend. And then another thing I wanted to say is, you could just go to a parking lot like when there's no one there, like the day that whatever store is closed, so there's no cars, and just drive around in there. That could be the next step. And then yeah, driving around the neighborhood, avoiding freeways. Shouldn't come into contact with trucks that way. And so I definitely agree with the baby step scenario, but I'm just reiterating this: making your own rules, setting your own way that you do things, and not letting people make you feel bad or any different way. You just ignore them. So I'm wondering if that resonates, because that's just coming through so strongly.
As you was mentioning about the 9 to 5 job, I feel that way too. Like I've worked before, and I've worked 80 hours, no days off. And
Yeah.
I'm a very hardworking person. Like when I'm doing a job, I work. But for some reason, like my body clock, I can't do it like consistently every day, the same time every day. I'm a very free spirited person where I work like on the like more like jobs come to me and I do it right then and there, whether it's at morning, night, daytime. I just can't do the 9 to 5. And being that I have children, the nursing job that I did, I was working from 4:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. And I kept telling my boss, I have children that I have to get them to the doctors. I can't work this job. And then when she finally gave me the 3 to 11, some tragic situation ended up happening and I lost the job, but I was so burnt out that I really haven't gone back to work since then. And that was back in 2003. And every job that I've gotten to, I work, but just for some reason, a lot of the jobs they're not flexible when it comes to your children or, certain things. And it just caused my anxiety and just so I just took it as I needed to own my own business. That's what I really wanted to. I felt like maybe I'm not meant to work a 9 to 5. Maybe I'm just meant to set my own schedule. Maybe the frustration that I was going through of not having the flexibility was that I needed to find my own job, or my own business, do something, to work for myself. I've always been drawn to like psychology, like cosmetology, stuff like that. I do cosmetology. I took courses, college courses for psychology, all jobs that kind of lead me into being like an entrepreneur, having my own job. Like I don't want to work for anyone. I want to work for myself. So with the driving, it's like I feel like there's things that I'm drawn to, but it's like everything that I want to do, I feel like it's always this, but that's not for you, or something like that. So that's why I was asking, because I get these mixed signals of the things that I'm drawn to, the things that I want to do. I'll get a yes and then a no. Like it, like something will distract me, or like it's almost like an obstacle. Like it's never like a clear. It's like I have to literally jump through hurdles, climb mountains just to get the clear. And it's like I never know what to do or how to do it, or should I work here? Should I go here? Should I? It's always something. It's always something. So I was just hoping I can get like clear. Maybe somebody can see it clearer than because it's just I get so much. I channel so much, and I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy, but I was doing my human design, and it said that I'm supposed to wait to respond. Like I'm a generator, which I'm supposed to, like I only have certain energy for certain things. I have to wait to respond, but it's like when I'm waiting, sometimes I'm just like sitting there like, okay, and it just doesn't like, I don't know. But
Yeah,
that definitely makes sense.
and I'm just going to come in and just like kind of curve things a little bit. Just we're almost to the end of this panel, and we just don't have. You have great questions. I know you had the question of like, which question do you ask? And I think you're discovering more questions you want to talk about while you're here. But so yeah, so Jana, anything else you want to respond? It's great, and then I want to give Christina a chance. And yeah,
Okay.
Jennifer, we look forward to having you part of the community and just more and more stuff going on. I was inviting Jennifer yesterday, maybe to be a practitioner. There's all kinds of messages coming through. All right. Yeah, Jana, anything else?
I would just
Cool.
say, just the only thing I can tell you as far as if you're not just getting a clear yes, I think it's that spirit's wanting you to try those things and see how they work for you. So if you're getting a yes and then a no, it's like I'm not sure, but it's like, why not try whatever you're drawn to and then give it a chance and see how you feel, see how your body feels, do whatever it is, and then reflect on it later too. If you go try something and then you go home and you're like, gosh, that was amazing, I want to do that again, I'm so glad I tried that, or you go home and you're like, you know what? I liked it, but I don't really want to do it again. You could try it again, and maybe then you'll be like, okay, yeah, for sure. I'm glad I gave it a shot. Sometimes you might need to try things a few times, or sometimes you'll try it and then you'll say, you know what? That's not for me, but I'm glad that I tried it. I got that experience. So definitely try the things that you're drawn to. Don't I just think it's I think it's a second guessing, questioning yourself when you're drawn to it and then you're like, but I don't know. So I think you should just definitely go with where you're drawn to, try those things out, and then reflect and see how you feel about them later. And if it doesn't work out for you, you still got that experience.
All right, great. Thank you, Jana.
Awesome.
And Christina's got something to share with you too.
All right. The reason I asked for those questions in the beginning is because I just needed clarification on what you were really dealing with. Once again, I was drawn to pull cards for you to get a better understanding of the situation and what the outcome should be. One of the cards that I pulled, once again, it's probably backwards. It has 3 words on it, but we're going to focus on triggers. So while she was talking, I was looking at my phone. We are still under the influence of the full moon, which full moon is with releasing. So I would definitely say tonight, actually sit with yourself. If you could do it in the dark with a candle and focus on really kind of hone in what that fear is with driving and try to figure out what those triggers are and make a list of them, write them out, and then literally burn them and release them. If you really want to get back to driving again and get over this fear, and that's what the dreams are really about, is that you're dealing with this in your subconscious, and that it's so heavy and your body is so ready to get rid of it. That's why you keep dreaming about it. So this will be a perfect time, because you're still under the full moon, to write these out, sit with yourself, figure out what they are, really feel the emotions so you know what the triggers are, write them out, burn it, release it. You got to let it go. You got to. The other part of it is, I got the card celebration, gifts, but, and don't take this the wrong way. Like I said, celebrate the fact that you're having these dreams, because it means that your subconscious is trying to work this stuff out. It's tired of holding on to it. So you're working it out in your dreams because you're not dealing with it in the waking state. So don't be scared. Don't be afraid that you're having these dreams. Look at it as the fact that your body is ready to release this so you can move on with your life. So be happy that your dream state is trying to work this stuff out for you. The other part that I got is this card, and basically it is forming structure and solid foundation. And what I'm getting from this is that, like, you're saying that you have all these different ideas of things that you want to do, job ideas and things like that, things that you're going to do with your children, things to do with driving, anything that has to do with you at this time. Get a plan together. Write a list of the things that you're interested in. And it kind of ties into what Jana was saying. You have this list, you have something to work towards, you have these goals to work towards. And as you're trying these different things and trying to figure out, okay, is this for me? Is it not? You can mark that stuff off that list. But in a way, you're kind of organized and you're structuring yourself into something. You're not just floating out here trying to figure it out, because that's not how the universe works. You're not here just to be a puppet in the wind of what's happening to you. You get to control this. So in a way, write your lists out, write your goals out of what you want to accomplish, and start working towards those things. And then I pulled the last card that is just like the overall theme. Trust yourself.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not really the universe making you second guess, it's you.
Mm.
The universe is telling you exactly what you need to do. And because you have these fears and stuff about moving out of this place that you've been in, that's when you get the yes and no, and I don't know, and the confusion going on. But you literally have things lining up for you, and you're questioning it, And right when you're deciding, oh, you know what, maybe I'll try it, it's gone. The opportunity's passed you by. But guess
Yeah.
what? Time isn't linear, time is cyclical. So it will come back again, but you got to be ready for it. So this is the time. Like I said, you're under that full moon still. Write this stuff out, the stuff that you don't want to hold on to no more, the things that you want to release, write them out, burn it, release it, and it's time to move on. But overall, trust what's coming to you and believe in it. Okay?
Who said Care Bear?
I don't know who that is.
Someone in the audience just said Care Bear. Someone's expressing care. Yeah.
When I just saw that, I just posted up today about the Care Bears, because when I was little, I don't know, I didn't really spend much time with my family, but my dad did mention stuff like, he said I had a collection of Care Bears. You said, sorry, I hear that out loud. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. I just posted up today all the Care Bears that I see myself as the Care Bear. Like I used, like all my life caring, for people and stuff. So it was just crazy that I just saw the Care Bear. She must have picked that up from today, my energy of the Care Bear. So the reason I had asked that with the driving is because it's like with the trust, like she said, with the foundation, is like I get these dreams like I'm supposed to do this, but then when I wake up and I'm looking at the situation and it looks nothing like how it looked in the dream, I get so lost and confused. Like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Like I'm not in the position that I was in the dream. So it's like trying to figure out, how am I getting there? How am I going to do this? And thinking that they like it's almost like they come to me when I'm sleeping, but when I'm awake, there's so much distractions and it doesn't come through clear, where it's hard for me to create the reality of the dream. So it's like I've been feeling like I can only do these things, these accomplishments in my dream and not in the waking life. And I think that's where I get so frustrated. Like, okay, I'm doing this in the dream and it's like everything is just smooth. But then when I wake up and I'm looking around, I'm like, how? It doesn't, and I don't get the like I don't it's like I don't feel that connection, like that state of mind.
Well, you're
that
not,
I have
you're not
in the dream.
you're not going to feel that in 3D. You're not.
Okay.
You have
Gotcha.
to push through those feelings. If you know that aligns with you, you have to push through and do it. Things ain't supposed to be easy here.
Right.
You gotta make a way. You gotta find a way. And how you do that is you set up them goals and you work towards those goals. Regardless if you're having a good day, bad day, kids acting right, job is what you have these goals that you have to work through, regardless. And because things are nice and pretty in your dreams, yeah, they will be nice and pretty in your dreams. But in the real world, you gotta fight, you gotta make a way. It's not gonna be easy. This journey for you isn't supposed to be easy.
Right.
But once you align with what you're supposed to be doing and you start working towards it, things will start to move out the way to kind of work it out for you, but you still want to work.
Yes.
You have to put on some effort and you have to continue to work through these fears. And the other thing I just got is, are you working with your ancestors?
Oh. I no, I don't know who my ancestors are, to be honest. I do see like
that's we can have a whole nother conversation about that, because I know we got time limits and stuff here, but I just wanted to drop that down on you real quick, because they're the medium between stuff happening in the astral and the dream world and doing stuff in the physical. So that could be the other part of it too. So
the weird thing about that is I did actually have a vision after my grandfather passed that he gave me $5 for gas he gave me $5 for gas, and I was driving like a little scooter, and I'm like, he gave me $5 for gas. And then I woke up and I was like, he gave me $5 for gas. I mean, I don't know where I went or why. I woke up and I was like, is he telling me to drive? Like before he died, he had gotten into an accident. He ended up having heart issues, like all this stuff going on. And it was just so weird of all the dreams it was like, I was like, was he telling me to drive? You know, is he like encouraging me to drive? But I'm just so like I get like chicken feet, I guess. I don't know, like in the dream, like the courage that I have in the dream. And I I don't know, I don't have that when I'm, you know, like I'm more like thinking too much. I'm too much thinking. So it was like, I feel like the more encouragement that I get from them, like if I actually have a dream of like you said, like if I dream of one of them, I don't know. I feel like I get more strength, but they don't come. They only come like once in like not as often as I need it. Like I need it. I need to see them more, but I don't. I see them. It's almost like once in a blue moon, I would say. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
And Jackie's got a little bit more to share. Christina, did you finish? Are you set?
Yeah, this can go on forever, so I'll just.
Yeah, I feel the same way. We could stay here for a long minute. So
Oh.
I'll just make it really quick because I agree with everything that everyone said, but specifically around the triggers that Christina mentioned earlier. Triggers that's going to also be in the body because I love ceremony work. I love burning things up, and it's also in your physical body. So when you have a traumatic experience, it's frozen in time in your body. Your body remembers it. So a lot of times animals shake off trauma, but humans don't get a chance to do that because we're always told calm down. So long story short, like if you feel that you're getting frozen again by a trigger, your body's kind of paralyzed, that you can't move forward, even in your mind. There's just a quick, we can go on, but EFT, you can look up EFT, it's tapping. It will help you process body trauma, energetic trauma. And there's also just different ways of freeing up body trauma. I'll put that.
Thank you. When
You
you
just cut
guys,
off and you just muted and you got cut off there at the end, Jackie.
yeah, when you guys,
Sorry, I just put it in the note. You can Google that and you can, again, talk to any one of us, but there's freedom to be had. You just have to choose it and walk towards it and see yourself as a woman that's powerful and driving. See yourself as that woman and just bring that part of you from your dreamland into your waking state. You can do that as well. And I'll close with that. But blessings, girl. I see you as powerful. Right on.
thank you. Like when you guys, I'm gonna say this really quick. When you guys mentioned the triggers, I was thinking that that's what the dream was telling me. Like, no, don't drive. You're gonna crash. You're gonna get into an accident, or it was showing me something else. So that's why I was like, that's what the trigger is. Every time I think of myself driving, it takes me to me looking at my body in flames in a car flipped upside down, and I'm like, should I drive or should I not? So it's like always like, I'm like, I don't know what it's telling me. It's like that's what the trigger is of just, you know how like you visualize something. So if you have like a bad vision of something actually happening, it makes you not want to do it. But I want to do it, but not if it's gonna, you know.
And you
do
may
that.
actually be seeing a past life memory or something. So that's something else to make peace with, to bring that to closure, if you will. And again, that's a deeper conversation. But yeah,
Okay.
I know you can do that. I know you got this. I know it.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming in and asking another question and letting us support you.
Thank you. I didn't know what to ask, but I said, let me think, because I didn't want it to be, you know, I'm like, I don't want it to be triggering for anyone else. I don't want to, you know, I'm an emotional person, so I didn't want to bring any emotions on anybody. I said, let me think of something that's more neutral and not, you know. Thank you guys so much.
You're so welcome. The pathways all lead to who we are.
Yes, and I would like to, if I could, I'm still working on how to be a practitioner or how to, I feel like I'm still underdeveloped. Like stuff comes through to me, but it's more so,
And
I feel like more so when I'm sleeping.
go ahead,
Or before
Christina.
I,
Christina's got a little bit more to share. Yeah, we've got lots of community, lots of events to support you in this. Go ahead, Christina.
Yeah, I have one more thing. While you were talking, because the ancestor thing came through, I just pulled this card, and it really doesn't matter what it says on the bottom. Just look at the picture, all the hands in the back.
oh,
Oh,
I
the
have
power in the back.
I have that deck. That's the African goddess deck. I
Yes,
love that.
this is
Um,
basically reassuring what I said, that you need to get in contact with your ancestors. They're behind you. They're waiting for you. And guess what? It says speak up. Speak up in regards to, you need to incorporate with them and talk to them.
mm, wow. Okay. I feel like they definitely give me strength. If they do, like if I see my grandmother or my grandfather, I wake up with this strength. And it's like them guiding me. I said, they know I don't have my mom and dad. And I'm like, when they both died, when I lost both of them, I'm like, they were the strength, they were the foundation. Like this fear, I felt like came over me after I lost them. Like I had more courage when they were here. And even though I didn't have a relationship with them, I just knew like it was just something about them that was just, when I did talk to them or have any connection, it was like they were very strong people. My parents are not strong. They're actually living with my sister. So they're not, I don't have that strength of the older generation, just, saying, hey, come on, you got this, you can do
What's
this, you can,
the further
yeah.
connection all the way back, right? You're being asked to connect further back.
Yeah, we're not talking
Oh,
about,
like,
now, when we talk about ancestors, we're talking about the ones that you know and don't know and are ancient. You have that behind you. You looking like this. It's like this. Like you think you don't know them, but they know you, and they wait. They can only do but so much without your permission. So they just waiting for you to get in contact with them, set up the things that you need to set up, and start communicating with them. And it's nothing big and special.
And
If you want to reach out, we can talk about that either with me or probably Dr. D. So
yeah, so this is the opportunity to do more with some of the practitioners that are on the panel today. That's why they all have specials. So and lots of low cost opportunities for you to support you, opening up and connecting with your gifts and sharing more of your gifts. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. Take you off the spotlight.
Thank you.
You
Yes,
are
thank
so
you
welcome. All right. Well, let's have everyone share again about who you are and how people can reach out to you, who you are, what you do, and how people can reach out to you. And feel free if you want to share your special again. I'll put everything in the chat again. We could go in do you mind going in reverse order? Christina, did you want to go first?
Sure. Sure. I'm Christina, owner of Crystal Quartz Metaphysical Shop. I am located in Pittsburgh, PA, but I obviously can do online readings. I do multidimensional soul intuitive readings and cosmic consults. I am a celestial mystic. I am a multidimensional cosmic being. The information I pull in can be very high dimensional or down into the lower realms. As I presented today, it whatever you need comes through. If it's someone can come in here asking about driving, and the next minute we talking about you need to get in contact with your ancestors. So I am having a special right now, 15% off for a 60-minute soul reading or 45-minute cosmic consult. You can find me at crystalquartz.com, on Facebook, Crystal Quartz, and also Instagram, Crystal Quartz. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I'm tempting to reverse the order and got to remember what the order is. I think Lincoln is next.
Oh, well, my name's Lincoln Stoller. I am at mindstrengthbalance.com, and I'm a therapist and counselor and coach and hypnotherapist and brain training person. Yeah, I mostly listen, and I reflect on what you might need. And I have a special, what was it, $90 an hour, which is 40% below my normal rate. My specialty is sleep, dreams, altered states, psychedelics, past life regression. Anyway, I'd be happy to work with you, and thanks for being here.
Thanks, Lincoln. And Jackie's next.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jackie Delamar. You can find me at sacredjourneyguide.com. I am also a hypnotherapist, energetic healer, coach. But what I focus on, if I had a specialty, is heart healing. I integrate fragmented parts that have been frozen in time due to trauma and or ancestral past trauma that's been brought forward, that's leaving energetic debris and even emotional debris in people's lives. So that's my honor to help people get over those things. It's a precious gift and it's a sacred thing, which I don't take lightly. And so if anyone's called to work with me, then I'd be honored to work with you. All right, blessings. Thank you so much for today.
Thanks, Jackie. We've got Jana.
My name is Jana. I'm an intuitive tarot and oracle card reader, specializing in spirit message readings, providing you messages that spirit has for you at this time. You can reach me on my Facebook business page, which is Jana Kaye's Lux Moon Readings. My special is for this weekend, booking today or tomorrow for whatever day works for you at $40 for the spirit message reading, which is 45% off.
Great. Thanks so much, Jana. And then Dr. D, tell us again who you are and what you do and how people can connect.
Oh, okay. I am Dr. D. I am a medicine woman, shamanic medicine. I do metaphysical, and I'm a metaphysician. So I basically do everything from A to Z. I'm going to put it under an umbrella, specialize in infertility issues and other things. And I am running a special this time of 25% off for 3 sessions for $333, for 6 sections, $666, for 9 sessions, $999. And that consists of biofeedback, consists of color therapy, consists of geometric shapes, and consists of different sounds for the healing. And I also specialize in removing attachments and then some.
Great,
That's
great.
it.
Thank you. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and matchmaker. You can learn more about me at intuitiveeyereading.com and matchmakingsoulmates.com. And I do a 20-minute session to talk about my work and get a sense of where you are and what you might want and how my work can be of service with some samples. And I also have drop-in matchmaking and dating groups. You can find out all about those at matchmakingsoulmates.com. And this has been MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have tons of different events, including some of our upcoming events are next week. I think it is April 12. No, yes, it is Wednesday, April 12 at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Lisa and I are having one of the I don't speak, starting and growing your intuitive business drop-in coaching and mentoring. So that's by donation the first time. I don't have the link at the moment. But yeah, 5:30 p.m. You can find out more about that at the MeWe Fairs Facebook page. And then we also have coming up at the end of the month, April 28, Heal Your Inner Child, a panel. And then Saturday, April 29, we have our online fair. And Sunday, April 30, we have our practice circle. So all of you that are wanting to be practitioners, great opportunity to practice with peers. And I'm going to put in the chat again, this is the forum to fill out to give us feedback on today. And if you give us your email address, we will enter you into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. Well, thanks so much for being here. Thank you, panelists, for being on the panel, and Dr. D for helping support everyone. And everyone did great, and we're excited to do more and more with all of you. You can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com. The recording off.